And good morning. Happy Saturday. This is April the 16th, 2022. If you can hear me, let me know over in the comments. Good morning, JH, CH, John, Gina, Cody, Dave, T and Bighorn, Jeremy, Terry, Stephen. Good morning, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. If you need IT consulting, or you just need to bounce some ideas off of somebody, if you're looking to trade equipment, I have been doing that lately as well. Go over to williehowe.com, fill out the contact form, or if you have my email address, feel free to email me. Also, if you are into security frameworks, I think you're really going to enjoy today. All right, we're getting a bunch of thumbs ups and 5x5s, and good morning, Unky Joe. Tim, Bob Carpenter joining us from the great frozen north. Hamster MC, good morning, Zach. Believe it or not, I have a written list of things I want to talk about. Also, yesterday's dad joke of the day. My friend drove his expensive car into a tree and found out how his Mercedes Benz. I don't know, I might have a button for that. I don't know if it's that one. I'm assuming it's pumping out sound right now, but I can't hear it. I don't have the headphones in. So not sure. That one might be applause. I don't know. It's off. Not sure. Somebody let me know what that sound was. I moved the thing that had everything written down. So let's see. Good morning, Matt and Michael and Carlos. Good morning, everyone. We are gearing up for Easter Sunday here in the States, and that is tomorrow. Yesterday, I mowed for the first time. I beat my neighbors, and that's like adult peer pressure is when when you hear oh, you didn't get any sound because I had the sound turned down. Someone there now. I'll shut it off. I had it turned all the way down. Let me know what that was. So I mowed for the first time yesterday, push mowed like 1.5 acres because I need the exercise. And it was fantastic, actually. Lowered my blood pressure, and I got to start getting back on that every day. All right, what are we talking about today? Cody says, rip headphones. Gina says, ouch. That must have been a little loud. Sorry about that, folks. I don't have my headphones on, so I don't know what that was particularly. All right, a couple things we're going to talk about. Everybody's saying, all right. Good morning, Gibby. Yeah, taxes. So tax day in the States is actually Monday. So make sure that you've sent your quarterly taxes in. If you have to pay quarterly taxes, make sure that they're there by then. Or, if you're filing your regular taxes, make sure you've got it done. I am not a tax professional. You should always hire a tax professional. I just pay taxes. All right. Boy, we must have quite the lag in the video this morning. So, all right, to the list. So I will tell you this. I ship a lot of packages, and I shipped out, or I'm getting ready to drop off another package this morning, and I happened upon this website. This is Pirate Ship. You got to say it kind of slow. But I'll tell you what. I went to the UPS website, did a quote for a package, and then came over here, and I legit saved over 50% on the shipping label. So I've got a huge phone system that's going to be shipped out in the next week or so that you're going to see a video on. It's several sites all hooked back to HQ, but then also independent. So if HQ goes down, the rest of the sites don't go down. And I'm legitimately going to save 50% on the shipping versus the last system. So it's absolutely amazing. So if you're in the States, I don't know if this works outside of the States or not. I got to send some things to Canada here pretty soon, Bob, and so I'm gonna see how much it saves me sending to Canada. But yeah, check this out. This is legit, and you don't have to pay a membership fee. You don't have to pay anything. Literally, you create an account, and you are good to go. So also make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let the algorithm know that we are here this morning. So yeah, so check out Pirate Ship if you've got any kind of shipping needs. So also make sure you're posting any of your networking questions in the comments. We'll take a look at those. But yeah, check out Pirate Ship. Right now they do UPS and USPS. So I couldn't believe how much cheaper it was. And I actually have a UPS account, and it was even cheaper than the discounts that I get from UPS. They have no affiliate program. They're not paying me for this. I just couldn't believe how much I saved on my transaction. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But the chat seems to have gone a little quiet, so I don't know if the sound blew people out or what, or if nobody's got anything to say this morning, but make sure you are posting all of your questions down in the comments so we can answer your networking questions. I am working on, like I said, that video for that big phone system, and it's not necessarily that it's that many handsets, right? It's like 80 handsets or something like that. But it's distributed over like 7 sites, and they're all going to have inter-site calling and everything. So you're going to get to see that. I did get permission to film that from the customer, which is exciting because it's always a crapshoot whether you're going to get permission to be able to film things and put information out there. Now, obviously, you're not going to get the customer name, but you are going to see some of the dial plan settings and things like that. Things that really aren't going to be too much of a security issue. I'm also working, I don't know if Dale's in the comments or not, but I am working on a Libre NMS distributed system for Dale. We met and we decided that for now, Libre NMS is the way we're going to go, and we're going to use Raspberry Pis or at least Ubuntu boxes at remote sites for distributed polling. So it's a really fun project. So good morning, Blaine. Good morning, TVJ. Systech 911, good morning. JH says that Windows 11 does not support IPX. So, I'm assuming you're talking about IPX SPX, which is the old Novell protocol. Why in the world in 2022? Now, I know I'm saying it and the train's leaving the station, but I still know that there are places running Token Ring, right? So, JH, but why is your place running IPX SPX still? And believe it or not, I mean, we used to configure routers to be able to use IPX SPX. So, Terry says, finally caught the NVR Pro in stocks, able to move ahead in the tech center. So yeah, so I was talking to my Ubiquity contact yesterday, and hey, Dennis, I'm glad you're doing well this morning, man. I will be releasing my affiliate link next week for Ubiquity Networks. So you'll see some information on that. Now, the FTC has very clear rules for creators and for companies in general, whether you're a creator or not. So let's say that I create an app where you can go on and you can select. In fact, we're actually gonna have this. So, but let's say you go to my website and I have an app where you can build a network or build a phone system. If I deliver you affiliate links, the FTC says I have to notify you that those are affiliate links. And if I don't, then I'm in violation of federal law, right? Federal code. So you will see that I have been very clearly marking everything affiliate links that is affiliate links. And I believe, Cody, you might want to find out. I think the FTC actually has some bearing in Canada, even though it's the United States. You might want to check that out. I think there's some things that are worked out with that. So JH says their main server at that site is an old Novell NetWare server. Yeah, but even Novell NetWare supports TCP/IP. That's crazy. Hamster says, any reason why remote user VPN won't connect to remote site while IPsec site is also online? Yeah, so I have seen a couple of things when it comes to IPsec with the edge routers. Actually, this may be universal, but we do more IPsec on edge routers and Unify devices. But there used to be a bug where if there were two people behind the same NATed remote address and you tried to connect in, only the first person could connect. The other thing that I've seen is that either tunnels or the site-to-site, if you've got different pre-shared keys, can cause some sort of problems. I have seen that. So Hamster, check that out. Just for giggles, change your pre-shared key. Create a new pre-shared key for everything and change your site-to-site and your remote user to the same pre-shared key and see what happens. And that'll tell you if it's a pre-shared key problem. You can also look, you can get around that problem also by moving your site-to-sites to authenticating with RSA. And every other Ubiquiti consultant in here, the top of their head just came off because we do those complicated configs, but a lot of the other Ubiquiti consultants don't. They take the low-hanging fruit. I was tagged in a Facebook post in a group the other day where somebody needed something, and it was on a UDM. And literally, it's another YouTuber, this person, and they didn't want to post who it was, but I mean, there's only about 4 of us that are in that top tier. Cody's another one, you know, that are in that top tier of Unify Consulting and also on YouTube. And I didn't look into too much of who it was because I really don't care, and I'm not going to disparage anybody publicly. But what the Facebook post, I got tagged in it because they were like, yeah, I called this YouTuber that does consulting, and they said they won't touch a UDM. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll touch UDMs. So I know at least 2 of us, Cody and I, will touch UDMs and USGs all day long. Anybody who tells you that a UDM is not usable has never actually deployed one. Anybody who tells you that the new UXG is not usable has never deployed one. There are very few things that 95% of all networks that we're working on, the UXG, the USG, the UDMs, I don't get the hate on it either at this point, Cody. I understood earlier when it was released and it seemed like it was all half-baked firmware. That I get the hate on, but they've made so much progress on it. But let me tell you, like if somebody's telling you you need to install XYZ router over a UDM or over a USG, and they say, well, you know, the Unify stuff doesn't do dynamic routing. Okay, smart guy. Are you going to use dynamic routing in the network on the WAN? Probably not, right? So there's a very small amount of use cases for SMB SOHO where a UXG, a UDM, or a USG is not going to fit your use case. So I did pick up another customer. I picked up a large grocery store chain. I'm not going to... once again, I can't tell you who it is. However, I can tell you they have a JSON file. I don't support JSON files, but we are walking them out of the JSON file away from the USG Pro into the UDM because the things they were using the JSON file for on the USG Pro are now supported in the UI of the UXG. There's 2 things that you can do on a UXG, a UDM Pro, a UDM, and Unify from the command line that we do support, but it has nothing to do with JSON files. So, but yeah, I don't get all the hate. The thing is, here's the thing, right? So people, we hate to be wrong. We get stuck in our ways. We have things that are our bread and butter. I'm constantly learning. Like if you could see my lab, if you've seen pictures and stuff, like, you know, we're pretty vendor agnostic. Now, do I have my favorites? Yes. But the thing is, like some of these people that are telling you that the USGs don't work, it's because they don't use them or they are trying to sell another platform because either there's more money in it or whatever. it is what it is, right? I mean, stick a million IT consultants in the room and you're going to get a million different opinions on how to do things. All right, so let's talk about security frameworks. This has been coming up a little more often. Not that one, this one. And this one is actually the HIPAA. So HIPAA is actually spelled HIPAA, not HIPPA, not HIPPO. It is not HIPPO. It is HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Privacy Act. And like so many other frameworks that you're going to get into if you're doing consulting, a lot of times you're going to find official HHSgov, and it is right from HHS.gov, and it will walk you through the framework. Good morning, Ryan. So you you can get everything that you need. Don't take my word for it, because I'm not going to put unless I run you through the compliance program, I am not going to, unless we're in a consulting capacity and we have all the proper documentation signed, I can't put my stamp of approval on anything. Insurance for some of this stuff is absolutely crazy. And yeah, customers need to be well aware of the absolutely the laws. And so HIPAA is just one of the frameworks. There's PCI. There's all kinds of NIST frameworks. You need to not just guess, right? But the one thing, as you start working your way through these, is you're going to notice there's a lot of common things that are just best practices that some of us take for granted and consider to be common sense, and may not actually be common sense. Here's a good one that you're going to find, and the thing is, everybody wants to have their own vernacular, right? And that's the problem with Unify, is they change the vernacular inside the controller, and so what people are used to it being on other devices is not what it is necessarily on the UXG, so they don't know what it is, and they're not taking the time to figure it out. So back to changing vernacular. The vernacular here is that, not the vernacular, but here's the example that I'm going to give you. So let's say that you have users in a network. Users on the network should never have local admin control over their workstations. They just don't. In any type of well-maintained, regulated environment, your end users do not have local administrative control over the workstations. So if you're begging for trouble, let your users have local admin privileges, and then when a regulator walks in because you've had an incident, then explain to them, justify to them why, when you look at all of the other things in the framework, they had local admin access. Here's another thing. Should you allow your end users to bring their own laptop and access confidential customer information directly on the servers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are, if you're going to do that, there's all kinds of software, BYOD, effectively that laptop becomes company property, because for them to do that in a compliance-driven environment, they have to follow all the company rules, right? So they're going to get different antivirus, they're going to get different ransomware protection, they're going to get different firewall rules, they're going to get content filtering, they're going to get they're going to get all kinds of stuff, and basically the company is going to have administrative control now over that laptop. Terry Johnson says, our faculty at the college disagree. Hey, Taylor, I saw your question. Shoot me an email, and I'll shoot you over a link on how to do that. Terry Johnson says, our faculty at the college disagree. Well, that's cool that the faculty disagree, but your management staff should understand the problems. You should be able to articulate the problems that come along with letting end users have administrative control. You can put it down to dollars and cents. You can put it down to brand damage, brand reputation damage. You can put it down to the fines that you're going to receive. The government has started fining people for HIPAA violations, right? So let me know how that works out for you. Follow the frameworks, folks. While a lot of compliance is liability shift, if you're not following the framework, the liability is going to be shifted to you. So follow the frameworks, follow the common sense. And Tony says, good morning, Tony. He says, end user BYOD, hell no. I agree. Systech says, because if something would happen, they would blame you, and then you become liable because they hired you to protect them. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Everything that you do in a consulting capacity should be in writing, because you have to protect yourself, right? So if you were advising of best practices within a framework and the customer doesn't want to do it, you need to document that the customer has politely declined your professional advice, and that you are that they're telling you basically that you are wrong, and get it in writing, because then when it comes back, then it's not you, and make sure you've got insurance. JH says, I've always heard any CFO say BYOD is cheaper, and once I show them all the software that is needed to do BYOD, it ends up costing them more than cheap laptops. So yeah, so CFOs and IT folks have interesting relationships. That's for sure. Systech Tim says, document. Absolutely. Stephen Sawyer says, guest network for BYOD. So the only time we really allow BYOD, is on a guest network. Your employees should not be putting their personal devices on a private Wi-Fi. That should not be happening. Jeremy says, when I was doing my internship at the College of Health Professions at my university, I had to go through HIPAA training. We also had a waiver form for professors to sign for local admin privileges. I don't even know why it's allowed, Jeremy. Because here's the thing, you can have all the waivers that you want, but that waiver is only as good as their willingness to enforce it. So, if you work in an environment where there's really no enforcement, where there's no repercussions, you're going to run into issues. Hopefully it doesn't happen while you're there, but you will run into issues. And then there's going to be no teeth in it, and it, talk about deflating you for the day. You know what I mean? Like, that's tough, especially when you're there and it happens. All right, what other questions does everybody have here this morning? Any more questions? Going once, going twice, looking for all of the questions here this morning. Wow, everybody is so quiet. So quiet. All right, so that was it. That was the 4 things that I wanted to cover. Pirate ship, security frameworks, Libra NMS, and the Grandstream stuff. JH says, what are your thoughts on Nokia switching? So I'm assuming it's good stuff. It's probably carrier grade stuff. I don't know. I'd love to get my hands on it. Ryan Sharp, I'm doing okay. Probably better than I deserve. And, TN Bighorn says, I've had several small doctor's offices that have wanted to skirt the regulations, and I've walked away from them because of the liability on my part. So, News Fan says, any news on the fair? Yes, I am filming that tomorrow, maybe tonight. The weather's turned, I can paint. So yes, that's coming. So I actually have a client that I've been working with, and I record the sessions. Everything's recorded. Everything is documented. So Jeremy says, I wasn't in favor of that waiver. It was something that Dean and my boss had worked out. This was back in 2007. I'm sure things have changed since then. You should ask them what their cyber liability insurance policy says about that. Nokia switches are probably indestructible. Probably. That's a good one, Ryan. Taylor says your picture's on point. Really looks good. Appreciate that. Solar Point project this summer. Yes. So I now have a Solar Point and a solar switch. Ubiquity did send me those. So yeah. And Tony says we had acceptable use policies and agreements. Every employee had to sign off or they weren't issued a device. Yes, we do not recommend ever issuing credentials, devices until you have those in place. Also, non-disclosure agreements should be used where applicable, which is usually everywhere. And the problem is all of these documents, unless the management team is actually going to enforce them and put some teeth in them, they're only as good as the paper they're written on. So TVJ says, I know a company that just announced they are switching from Cisco to Palo Alto for security reasons, but still allow users to bring their own devices. Yep. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right. Once again, I am Willie. I want to thank you for being here on Saturday morning with me. If you need to reach out, if you need any type of consulting, reach out at williehowe.com. Real quick, we got two new things. JH says, anything new coming from the solar stuff at UBNT? No, it is tied into the UISP stuff. I don't know if there's new gear. Rest assured, EdgeMax is not dead, but what they've got works well right now. Dennis says, I'm about to take the leap into the Grandstream UCM 6300 using Telnex. Look for my video series soon. Soon. I want to thank you all for being here. Have a fantastic Easter weekend. Have a great Easter. Enjoy time with your family. Enjoy times outside away from the computer. I'm Willie, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.